You're listening to Book Chat with author Vivian E. Moore.
Welcome, everybody, to this week's episode. We really appreciate you joining us. This podcast really shows us how we can all learn, live, and thrive off of each other. By sharing our knowledge through our conversations, we will impart some knowledge whilst learning ourselves how to progress even further. Here is your host.
Hello and welcome to Book Chat. I am your host, author Vivian E. Moore. Hope everyone had a great week, and I hope that you had a great weekend and got outside and enjoyed this beautiful fall weather we had today, wherever you are in the world. Okay, all right. So I don't want to hold you for too long today, so we're going to get right to today's show. The title of today's show is Into the Ether, and the topic is the way out. 2021 came in with a bang. 2020 went out with one, and 2021 came in the same way. And each of those years were filled with highs and lows, accomplishments and failures that touched our lives in many ways, to the point that we seem to have little control a few times, or maybe more times than that. Like we had gone into the ether, as they say, never to be seen or heard from again. We just disappeared, and we couldn't find our way out. So, it's such a bleak outlook, right? Well, it doesn't have to be that way. There is daylight at the end of the tunnel. No matter how dark it is, there's always light at the end of every tunnel. So allow me to guide you through a trial that plagues us all. The lack of motivation that leaves us feeling as though we've traveled into the dark zone. It's an area where nothing exists except hopelessness and all that goes along with it. Although some of us might be comfortable right where we are in the thick of the discontent that has become our lives, nothing good will come of it anyway, or at least how we feel at times. But that's the wrong attitude. We shouldn't allow our loss of hope and unfulfilled dreams never to outweigh our determination. Trust me, there is a way out of the melancholy that has settled in like fog over a bay. If you're lost, deep in nothingness, where little ever seems to be right, hang on. There is a remedy. Today, I'd like to share 6 ways to revive your motivation and life, okay? Number 1, there is always a reason why we feel the way we do. The cure is to find the root cause and deal with it. Perhaps you've had a few setbacks along the way, but don't let it become a diversion from your goals. Number 2, no matter what the most experienced psychoanalyst says, it's all right to feel unmotivated at times. The very idea that we're not supposed to feel this way is idiocy. We're human, therefore susceptible to mood swings and everything else that comes with life. But please, do not become lackadaisical in your routines, or else it will rule your life, and no manner of life support will revive you. Instead, do things that inspire you, even if it's the simplest of ideas. Sometimes inspiration presents itself in ways we never even thought possible. And I just want to give you one example before we move on to example number 3. At the beginning of the year, or maybe it was during the summer months, I can't remember exactly when it was, but my thing was to reach 10,000 downloads on Book Chat. And at that point, we were more or less midway through. And so just this week, when I went out there and checked the stats and saw that I was so close to that goal, that inspired me. So, I got on Facebook, I got on Instagram, I got on Twitter, and I just thanked everyone who had downloaded the show and asked if they would help me reach that 10,000 mark. And let me tell you, it has gone up each day. the total it has risen. So I am so thankful for that. And now I'm probably less than 160 downloads away from that 10,000 mark. So I'm so excited about that. And it inspired me so much to know that, even though I don't think that I'm doing a whole lot, when I host this show every week and when I talk with you, about the different things the different topics that are book related and just things to inspire you, to get you inspired. You never know what type of effect that it has on people enough to make them want to listen to what you have to say. Maybe they don't listen to you live, but I always give the URLs out each and every week because that's important. Because I want you to be able to stay in reach of the show, to listen to, to the weekly podcast that I do. Because that's it, just as important as it is to me, I want it to be the same way for you. So that in one way or another inspired me to do today's show. So I just wanted to let you know that too. I get in ruts at times. I feel uninspired at times. But things like this always happen to uplift my spirit and to bring me back to where I need to be. And so that's what I wanted to do for you today. All right. So number 3 is goal setting. And that is ideal, okay? So start small and work your way up to the biggest one on the list. You don't have to do everything that's on that list. Don't feel as though, everything on that list has to be done in a certain amount of time, because sometimes goals take years to complete. You may have started it 10 years ago, and you may just be only halfway through to reaching, the entire goals that you have set. But the thing of it is to keep striving. Don't stop. Just because, you've only completed 3 of 10 goals doesn't mean that you can't complete all 10 of those goals. So keep doing what you're doing, because if you completed 3, you will get to 10, okay? So, and number 4 is hang out with positive people. There is nothing worse than someone who can never shine a positive light on anything. They see rain even when there's not a cloud in the sky. Trust me, I know plenty of people like that. Positivity begets positivity. Remember that. That is so important. It's important to your psyche. It's important to your everyday life to have someone, in your corner, in your life that will uplift you, even if it's through prayer. And sometimes that's the best way to have your spirit lifted up, is to have someone pray for you. And it is good. It is good to pray. It is good to pray for others. So, and I hope you pray for me, because, just because I do this show does not mean anything. I'm just like you. I have disappointments. I have triumphs. I have failures. I'm a human, so therefore, I'm prone to everything that you are, and believe me, having an active prayer life is the best thing that you can have, and it's the best thing that you can do for someone, do for loved ones and friends and everyone else, is to pray for them on a daily basis. Okay. All right. Number 5, don't overcomplicate your life. It's human nature to take on multiple tasks at a time. Multitasking isn't a one-size-fits-all type of deal, though. Even God created the world and everything on it in steps. We should adopt this model and take things one day or one project at a time. That way you won't get overwhelmed when you feel as though you're running out of time and you haven't completed the first task yet. Don't do that. Get it done. Get it done in your time. No one else's time is important. Only your time is important. You do it however many steps you need to take to get it done, just as long as you finish. That's the goal, okay? Number 6, the best way to see where you're going is to look back at how far you've come. Progress is an instant motivator, and it's okay to focus on your journey. It is a realistic view of what's to come. Simply because your month, day, or year hasn't been perfect doesn't equate to forfeiting your goals. Instead, find another source of motivation and stick with that. All right, folks, that is the show for today in totality, okay? So, but before I let you go, I want to make sure that I give you these URLs because I want you to continue to listen to Book Chat. I want you to continue to download these episodes and to help me reach that 10,000 goal that I've set for myself, okay? It's taken me a while to get there, but that's not important. The fact is that was my goal, and I'm so close to reaching it. So, and I thank you for being a part of that, for making it happen, all right? All right, so of course, the first URL is for Spreaker, and that is https://www.spreaker.com/user/author Vivian E. Moore. You can also follow me on all social media, which includes Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. Instagram is by invitation only, so remember that. Send me an invitation, and I will get back to you, I promise. You can go to my website if you want to see what I've been up to and look at some of my past events and things of that nature. That is at authorvivianemore.com or authorehshepherd.com. If you follow my blog, that is at https://vivianemore.blogspot.com, okay? And also, Spreaker is only one of the platforms where you can listen to Book Chat each Saturday at 6 and download those episodes. So, of course, Spreaker, Apple Podcast, Spotify, iHeartRadio, Google Podcasts, Castbox, Deezer, Podcast Addict, Podchaser, YouTube, SoundCloud, GileSavin, Audible.com, Verbal, Luminary, and guess what, folks? Amazon Music. So it's all out there. Anywhere you listen to podcasts, you can find Book Chat. Those are just the ones that I wanted to let you know, so you wouldn't have to go out there and try to figure out which platform you want to listen to Book Chat on. So I give you some every week, so that way you can just choose from that list if you want to. If not, do it your way. However you want to listen to the show, feel free to do so. As long as you're listening and you keep downloading those episodes, I do appreciate you so much. And thank you guys from the bottom of my heart, because it is so important to me. When I started this show, I wanted to do something that I thought would be helpful. I never thought that it would still be continuing, these past few years, that I've made it to this point. So that is a big accomplishment for me. I knew that I wanted to do something that would inspire other authors and writers, to do their thing, to let them know that I'm just like you are. This publishing world, sometimes it can be so mean and so hopeless, but the goal is not to give up, because there are more than one ways to become a published author. You don't always have to have a contract with the publishing company. You can do it yourself and still be successful. And there are so many other indie authors out there who have done it their way, and they are successful. They're on the New York Times and the Wall Street and Amazon, and anywhere where you can get to the top of your game and reach that goal of becoming a bestseller. You can do it. You can either do it independently, or you can do it, working with a commercial publishing agency. But the thing is, the goal is to live your dreams and not be disappointed, not be dissuaded when things don't go the way you want them to. Everything takes time, so it's a process, and just remember that there is a process to everything. So it may not happen overnight, it may not happen tomorrow, or this year, but it will happen if you believe. All right, so before I let you go, I want to make sure that you guys are staying safe, because COVID is ratcheting up. Now that everyone has to go inside because the weather is changing, so that means you can't be outdoors as much as you were these past few months. So now people are getting sick again, and the cases are increasing. So we want to be safe. We want to make sure when we're going out that we're wearing the mask, that we are washing our hands, using hand sanitizer and things of that nature, and and trying to, be in the company of those who have also been vaccinated, because that helps a lot. It really does. And I was proud of my daughter today because she went and got her first vaccination. And she felt as though she was being cornered in doing it. But, and I understand that, it feels as though, your rights are being tried when it's more of a mandate than you doing it under your own speed, under your own will. But sometimes we have to get past those things and look at the bigger picture, because there is a greater good to everything that happens. We just have to see it that way and realize that sometimes things are out of our control, but in the end, it is good. It was meant for good and not bad. It wasn't meant to hurt us, but to help us. So we need to keep that outlook and keep that in mind, okay? And also tomorrow is worship day. It's the second Sunday. And, I know a lot of people are, still going out to the church house, me included. And then there's some who are still having church at home. So just whichever way you attend service, just be careful, be safe, because it's important to keep ourselves healthy and those around us as well. And also remember to tell those that we care about the most how we feel about them, because tomorrow is not promised. And on that note, I hope you love me, because I surely love you, and I thank you. And until the next time you hear my voice, God bless you, and goodbye.
Loved what you've heard on this week's episode? Well, the answer is simple. It would mean the world to us if you could head over to iTunes and leave us a 5-star review and feedback. Spreading the word really is the best way to grow our podcast and achieve even greater things. Thank you.